Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm doing a blue set of full acrylics with some 3D work. So here I'm just cutting the tips down to make them coffin ballerina shape. So I do it to all 4 tips. And as you can see, I just measure the tips to that size, so then I just put them on my flexi finger. So then I just gently buff down the tip to make sure it's nice and straight. So now the tip is in my flexi finger. I love my flexi finger to do work like this with, so it's so easy. You don't have to glue no tips down or nothing. If you can hear a noise, guys, that is my cat playing. So you don't need no whatsoever glue or nothing. You just push them in and pull them back out, which is really good and handy. So first up I'm going in with my Glam and Glitz mood changing, and I think it's indigo blue, and it does go from a dark blue to a light blue. So when it's cold it is dark blue, and when it's warm it goes to a light blue. It is an amazing colour. It is one of my favourites. So it's Mood Effects, sorry guys, and it's in disguise. And I was going to use the Glam and Glitz Blue Rain Glitter too, but I did decide against it. But I do go in with the Talia'snailtales Electric Blue and my Clear Ice. I use the Nails one for my 3D work. So let's jump in. So as always, I'm getting a bead and I'm placing it on the nail. I'm being careful not to touch the cuticles and getting as close as I can to the cuticle area without touching skin. And then I'm just dragging that product up, well, gently pulling it, I'd say. So I do the same again, and as you can see I did get a little bit on the skin then, because I weren't being too careful because it is my flexi hand. So I do exactly the same again, and I'll just feather it all down the nail, making sure it's all blended in, and pull it up. And I'll go in with a second bead just to make that colour pop just a little bit more. So you can see now the lovely dark blue it is, and then it does go to like a really pale blue. So but it is such a lovely colour, and I do pinch this nail, so I waited for it to set and I did pinch that. I didn't film that bit. So next I go in with my Clear Ice and I encapsulate the nail. I do all 4 nails like this, guys, but I'm only showing you one because it does take up too much time to show you the 4, and you may get bored watching it. So as you can see, I'm just encapsulating that. I'm doing exactly the same again, making sure I get a bit of an arch, because you do need that bit of an arch on your nails, and the longer the nail goes the more of an arch you will need, guys. As you can see, I'm coming in again with a second bead and I'm just pulling that down to the nail. Third bead, sorry guys. And again I'm just making sure I've got that arch completely how I want it. If you can hear scratching, guys, it is my cat under my table in my living room. She's playing up Poppy. So as you can see, that is the nail completely done. So next I'll go in and I'll do foil all my nails off camera. I don't know if I filmed. No, I think it is off camera. Mistake, no, I do go in with another bead just to make sure that arch is right. So as you can see now, I've got a little arch on there that I wanted because it's not too long, it is just a medium shaped nail. So next I'll go in and I'll pinch the nail. As you can see, the colour has changed now to that pale blue I was telling you about. So I just leave the pinchers on. As you can see, the nail did come off because the pinchers were a bit heavy for it. So I just pushed it up there to do it. So as you can see, it's done. And I'm just giving it that extra little pinch. Just making sure I've got a really crisp C curve. Next I'm getting all the dust off from foiling, and I go in and I wipe all the nail down. Make sure I wipe it over with some acetone, just to give it that final little touch, to make sure there's no bumps or nothing left in it, to make it a little bit smoother. My cat, guys, is on a mad now, if only you could see her. So I've just put the nail back in, and next we are going to go in with my 3D work. Sorry guys, now we're going to top gloss. I can't get my words out tonight, guys, I don't know what's wrong with me. So next we're going to go in and we're going to top gloss using Ink London No White Top Gloss. I will leave the link in the description box for all the products I have used in this video, as always, guys. And also I will leave my favourite stores that I buy from regularly down the bottom. So here I'm going in and I'm just doing like a half moon. So I'm just cutting it in half, like using my brush like a knife. Then I'm just patting it down. And this effect, you don't need it neat because you want it to look like a real rose, so it doesn't matter if it's neat, just make it look, as long as you've done that half moon shape, it's all good. So I go in again and I overlap, so I cut it like a knife, I use my brush like a knife, sorry, that's the word, and then I pat it down, and I do this all the way around, and I will talk you through every bit that I do. So again, I go in, I get a little bead, I put it right there, and then I cut it using my brush like a knife, and then I go and I pat it down again, and then I go in again, pick up my next bead, and I place that bead down, and again I use my brush like a knife, and I cut down the middle, and then I just put it like a half moon shape, and then I pat it down again. So again, now I'm going in to the middle, I do where the joins are, so I put my bead where the joins are, and I do exactly the same again, and then I just pat it down, but I bring my brush just a little bit more up than with the first round bit. I put my brush quite flat to pat it down. Now this one I've put it at a slight angle just to pat it down. So as you can see, look, it's not flat this time. So I do that on all round the nail again, well, the inside bit again. Sorry that bit is a bit out of shot, guys. It is quite hard to make sure you can see and I can see what I'm doing, but I did get it back in shot here. So again, I just cut it, using my brush like a knife, and cut down it, and then I just pat it out. And you don't want to go over the next lot of flowers, you want to push it just right. So here I'm going in and I'm doing exactly the same again, and I'm making sure that my bead is on the bit that overlaps, as you want it to cover that area. But this time I'm making sure my brush is standing up more. As you can see, it's quite up, and I'm just blending that in gently into the flower. And here I'm just doing the finishing touch, and that's the middle of the rose, and I'm just using my brush again like a knife and just pushing that down just to add a little bit more effect. So next we're going to go in and we're going to do the leaves. So for this I'm using my CJP Lime Splash and my Mega White from Talia'snailtales. Also I'm using my Crystal Nails 3D mini brush. So I'll leave the link to the nail team, which where I purchased this from, in the description box for you guys. So again, pull while the bead is wet, and then you just pat it down exactly the same way as you would do a flower, and then you do exactly the same again, and you put the bead down and you pull that bead while it's wet, otherwise you're not going to get that into shape. And then you pat it down again, guys, and you just make sure you're getting that nice leaf look. And and we're going to do 2 more leaves, exactly the same again, guys. You want to place that bead down and pull it into a tip straight away, and then use your brush like a knife and just feather out the edges. And exactly the same again, pull that bead while the product is still wet. I did pull it a little bit too far up there, guys. Then using your brush like a knife and then pat it down again. So next I'm just going to do some little dots using the acrylic. Now you shouldn't need no more monomer on your brush to do this, so just go in. I did actually put my brush back in the monomer, so the one bead did go a bit big, but I did sort it out in the end, guys. So that is our first 3D rose of today. Now we do have another one coming up after this one, guys, so stay tuned. If you can see, the one in the middle is a bit big, but I do go in and just push it also, it goes back in. So sometimes these things happen. Sometimes this happens, guys. I got my word. I don't know what's wrong with me today, guys. So next we're going to go in and we're going to do 3 roses. Now this is the easiest way. If you're struggling with 3D work, I suggest you try this. So I'll talk you through it. Right, first I get a little bead, I place it right there, not towards the cuticle area. Then I just get my brush and I'll circle it around, making sure that I'm spreading that out. Now this one, then you just pat down, and you don't have to be neat again with this one, guys. It does look better if it's a bit messy around the edges, to be fair. So you just pat that down and it gives you the perfect roundness. Then you go in with another bead and you place that in the middle. And then you do exactly the same again, making sure your brush is at an angle. Well, you want it really pointing towards you. You don't want it dropped down. So, and you do exactly the same again, pat that all the way around, not worrying about making sure if it's neat, because that's the effect that we are going for. So again, I'll put my brush in the middle, I wiggle it around, and then I'll just pat that all out. And here I've just put the last bead in, and I'm just using my brush like a knife again and doing that middle bit. So we go in and do exactly the same again, and this rose I want to be a little bit bigger, not a lot, but just a little bit. So I'm placing that bead down, and then I'm getting my brush, I'm just pulling that product around and round and round, making sure I don't get no rips in it, because you don't want no rips in it at all. Then I'm just going in using the belly of my brush, and I'm just making sure I pat that down. Don't worry about it being neat, as I've just said, it looks better if it is like all wobbly. Again, I go in with my second bead and I do exactly the same, making sure that my brush is at more of an upright position. And then I just use the belly of my brush again, and I just pat that down again. Then we go in with another bead, and oh no, sorry, I still pat that down. Then we go in with our other bead and we do exactly the same again. And then we go in with our last bead and we put the last bead in, and we use our brush like a knife to give it that more of an authentic look. So we're going in now and we're doing our last easy 3D rose. So we're placing the product down. This technique can also be used with your 4D gels. I will be showing you a review on doing this, not a review, a tutorial on doing this. So that will be my next video, and I will do it exactly the same as I've done the acrylic one. So I will show you guys how to do it with both. So as you can see, it is so easy to do. Once you can do a set of acrylic nails, you can do this. You really can, guys. So if anybody's struggling, don't feel free to PM me on Instagram or Facebook, and I will answer you. So just don't be afraid, because everybody was beginners once. If you know, I not long learned how to do the 3D properly. So I did pass my course, so I was quite happy with that. So, but guys, everybody starts somewhere, so if you're struggling, let me know. So next I go in and I think I put my last bead in. No, I'm doing my leaves next. So again, make sure you pull that product while it is wet. Then use your brush like a knife and just pat out the edges to make it into a nice leaf shape. Again, pull that into a nice little tip while the bead is still wet. And I'm going in and I'm doing the next one as well, just so that one can set while I'm doing this one, and then I'll just pat it out again. Exactly the same here. I'll just get my brush, I use it like a knife after I've done this bead while it's wet again, and I use it like a knife and I just pat it out again, guys, so it's a nice little leaf effect. That one I did do a little bit too close to the edge, but it still looked good in the end. So again, exactly the same. So I'll go in and I think I put a few, no, I don't put no dots on that one. So guys, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget, don't let anybody dull your sparkle. Please share, like and comment, and don't forget, if you're not already, subscribe to my channel, as I would love to have you join us. So thank you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.